So today what we're going to do is we're going to look over a line graph, a bar graph, and a circle graph. Those are the three graphs that you're going to see within your homework in Buckle Down. Okay? Your Buckle Down homework is page 173 through 178, and then pages 181 through 184. Okay? The three graphs that you're going to see are a line graph, a circle graph, and a bar graph. Okay, so if you want to go ahead and turn your Buckle Down book to page 173. Okay, a line graph is the very first one that you're going to see. A line graph shows change over time. This graph is showing the hours that somebody traveled throughout the week. So it's saying Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and the amount of time that they traveled throughout the week. So it's showing the change of the travel time throughout the week. So it's showing change over time. Okay, so on page 173, the very first question is, what is the height of the plant on Friday? This is showing plant height, which is change over time. The height is changing, it's growing. Okay, so what is the height of the plant on Friday? Put your finger on Friday, move your finger up to find the point. Move your finger over, you should see that the answer should be 20 centimeters. The answer for number 1 on page 173 is 20 centimeters. Number 2, it says how much taller was a plant on Friday than Monday? This is comparing two different days. So we already know Fridays is 20. We need to go over to Monday, move our finger up, and we see that it's 12. So we have to subtract 20 minus 12. And you should get 8. Your answer for number 2 should be 8 centimeters. I'm going to go ahead and the next page you're going to do on your own, page 174, and the rest of those questions on page 173. We're going to move on and we're going to talk about a bar graph. Okay? A bar graph shows percentages. This is showing the percent of students that in what day they normally do their homework. There's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You can tell by looking at this graph that the least amount of time spent on homework, or the least day that is spent on homework, is Friday. The most is on Wednesday, so most kids do their homework on Wednesday. Okay, if you look at the bar graph, or the circle graph on page 175, you can see that there is one that definitely sticks out to you, and that's new equipment. It takes up half of that circle graph, okay? If you look down at number 1, it says, what is the most athletic money spent on? If you look up at the graph, again, the new equipment is taking up the most space in that circle. It's taking up half of that circle. So your answer would be new equipment for number 1. Number 2, it says, what two areas of athletic spending are equal to the amount of money spent on travel expenses? So you need to find what two other things would be almost equal to the travel expenses. If you put those two things on top of the travel expenses, they would equal the same amount in the graph. If you should see that media guides and new uniforms are about as equal as travel expenses. So your answers for number 2 should be media guides and new uniforms. The next one, you're going to be doing a circle graph on page 173. Okay, and then the next graph that you're going to see is a bar graph. Okay, this is my bar graph that I drew. This is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Bar graphs show totals. So this is a total amount of time that they spent on their homework. So Monday, they spent 1 hour. Tuesday, they spent 1.5. Wednesday, they spent 3, and so on and so forth. So bar graphs show totals. If you look at your example or your problems on page 177, it actually shows a triple bar graph. Okay, and it's on number 1, it's asking about how many bottles did 4th graders collect in April. Put your finger where April is on that line, on that bar graph, at the bottom at the x-axis. Move your finger up to the 4th graders. But there's 3. If you look at the key on your right, it has 4th grade at white, 5th grade at black, 6th grade at gray. Okay? So if we move our finger up, we're looking for 4th graders, which is white. It's a little bit above that 600 mark. It's in between 600 and 700, but it's very close to 600, so I would say that's about 610. You are going to have to estimate, that's why it's saying about. Okay, if we move on to number 2, it says, which grade collected the most bottles in February? If you find where February is, move your finger up. It said, which one has the most? You should see by the key that it should be 5th grade. Your answer for number 2 should be 5th grade. I'm going to have you go ahead and do the rest of page 177 and 178. If you go ahead and turn your books to page 181, you can see that these are multiple choice questions. So these should be a little bit easier for you. There's some options that you can look at. Okay? And you're again going to see a line graph, a circle graph, and a bar graph within page 181 to 184. A line graph shows change over time, a bar graph shows totals, and a circle graph shows percents. Remember those 3 things, and good luck on your homework. It's due on Thursday.